point, he was going to see wisdom. He was going to get in touch with wisdom. So I just let it be. Just kept on calling staff or managers at that time of the day because no, there's a point that we have not to do that. Allow them to sleep. Tomorrow we continue again. Just last month, he called me and was like, we need to discuss. I said, no, we'll discuss at 8 p.m. He said, no, 8 p.m. Now I want to sleep. I said, hey. So now you want to sleep. Now you have learned the lesson. Now he has understood that there's what is called past what? Productivity. And there are times that you have to just keep by yourself to replenish your brain power. So you too. Alright? Next point is repetition and practice. I'm about to end up with that. Repetition and practice. And that's the essence of what I do. What he spoke and all that is about repetition and practice. I'm going to share from that. I've watched the documentary of Beckham. How many of you know Beckham? Yeah. Beckham. So try and, on Netflix, Google Beckham. You see a lot of documentaries about him. And why he was able to do free kicks the way he was doing. Constant repetition to practice. Like, he wakes up, goes to practice before other footballers will arrive, and he's practicing how to kick that thing. Yeah. Like that. Keeps kicking it, so that when on the main show, that's it. Somebody was having a conversation with me. He said to me, Emeka, you know Usain Bolt? I said, yes. He said, do you know in all the Olympics that Usain Bolt ran, that the total number of hours, the total number of time that the guy ran was not up to 1 hour? You can check it. But this is a guy that spends 4 years to prepare for Olympics. To run how many seconds? Check all the Olympics, put all the time together. He's not up to even 1 hour. See, check it out. I was having a conversation with the guy. I said, that's the truth. I've never even thought about it like that. He said, yeah, go and check it. But you see him preparing for Olympics, running almost every day, doing the gym, going to run for how many seconds? Add all the ones that he has run, even not the Olympics, all those Commonwealth, all those ones. You can't add them. It's not up to 1 hour. All not up to 1 hour. For the how many decades of his life? Repetition, constantly, doing that one thing all the time. Made him inspired, made him to have the success he had. It's important. And in business, for those of us who run businesses, repetition is the order of the day. Guess what? We are building a culture in organization. Culture is the bedrock of our organizations. Why? Because an organization has to run according to a certain kind of culture. The thinking pattern, the behavioral pattern, everything. If you don't build an organization that has a specific culture, you are leaving your organization to anyhowness. And check it around. Many people don't care about that. How your how your member of staff, how they dress, how they speak, how they communicate is culture. It's culture. And so, it is a battle of ideologies. That is why every day in our company, me and my brother, we keep stressing it, talking it, behaving it, every day, repeating it. Why? Because these people will go to mosque, they will go to church on Sunday, where another pastor, another person will speak certain things in their mind to rewire them. We will come back, we have to rewire them again. Yes, sir. We have to rewire that brain that has been wired on Sunday, to rewire it back on Monday to behave according to the culture that we have. Because religion is one of the rewiring tools in existence. It's the truth. Do you get it? So the pastor in church will now preach and say, you have to pay tithe on the business. They now come and they will start insisting that we have to pay tithe on the company's side. No, it doesn't work here. It's not what has to do here. There's some of them, I don't want to mention some of them because we see them. The way they preach about how you relate with one another, the village thing. And then your staff comes to the office and he's speaking at the other member of staff. Let's say that this guy is the devil in my life. You know what I mean? How is this staff now going to relate and work with this one that they are seen as the devil? Even they preach in some churches, the kind of colors you wear is a symbolism of the devil. So they say all those ones who wear black, all those, like as I'm wearing black now, the devil. Those who wear red, those who wear pink, those who wear, they categorize and label them in the church. And then the person arrives in the office and sees his fellow staff wearing pink. It is where we have to rewire that mind. So it's a battle of ideology. There's nowhere that I've seen repetition for it. Is those of us who are building a business that have to outlast us. We keep talking, we keep fighting, we keep so because the culture has to be maintained. Am I making sense here? Is the power of repetition. And then also marketing. You have to repeat and repeat and repeat. Because you are talking to somebody now, his mind is somewhere else. Like I'm facing this, you're facing you now, maybe your mind. But I have to keep repeating, tomorrow I'll repeat again. So that your mind keeps coming back. That is why every day you turn on TV, they are showing you these adverts because one day you have to buy. You must buy. Repetition, one day it will enter your mind, man. The way it is every day, I should make a all buy. I had a course that I developed in 2022. I did 60 flyers, 60 different kinds of flyers to market that course, that product for 60 days, 60 different flyers. And for those of us who are in business, I want to make you understand that you are doing a flyer. Please don't use one flyer all the time to be marketing because you subject people to fatigue. Yeah. They will see it and they will see it again tomorrow and say, guys, I know what this guy talks of. But maybe the next day you're speaking something else. So today I will use red, tomorrow I will switch it to blue to make sure I'm the same thing, but now blue now you see. Repeating it in different ways, eventually it sticks in your mind and then you make 60 different flyers to be able to sell that course. Eventually the course was successful. We made about 25 M in that month from one single course. Repetition is necessary. Finally, my point, to get the kind of success that you desire and then to constantly live it, is to showcase your success. Sadly, in the nation where we live, when you showcase your success, people will begin to think different things. And it's okay. It's okay. How do you think, why do you think Dangote, okay, let me not use Dangote as an example. Tony Nobis showcases all the things he does on social media, despite the fact that he's a billionaire. Why do you think he does that? Is it to impress you? No. It's attracting leverage, people who will leverage his leverage, Dangote, people say, hey, Dangote is not on social media. I see them. Dangote is not on social media. Hey, all of you who are there. I say, do you go to where Dangote goes to show himself? In Davos, he's there. They say, next bank, we are done, he's there. He's showcasing himself to the power brokers, not to you, brokers person. Who is the only one we say he's not on social media. All people are making us on social media. They see the talk. You get money where you get, where they go show it. He's showing himself to where it is relevant. We don't get the kind of money where the guy gets. Let us show ourselves to where we can be able to show. I mean, on social media. And they're like, why are you? Show your success. That is why Tony Nobis does what he does. He inspires the young ones. He shows your success. Then he leverages on other billionaires. Because they are also, that's why big banner, they will show themselves in aircraft. Yes, so they will say, Emeka, why you show yourself? You are an airpiece. Is it your airpiece? Because I am showcasing in a way that there are certain individuals I'm attracting to know that we also fly. Am I making sense? Peasants, yeah? You can't be writing as a speaker, you're entering boss, okay? Yeah. Bankers who have the money, MPs of companies who have the money. This one, if you buy this one, it's only to chop and he will chop it. He doesn't have the substance. Yes, so those of us who do public speaking, there are even places we put our events. We are putting an event in Lagos, we are putting in Shikodu, we are putting in Sagamo. You are putting Mushi. No, except you are Bishop Oyedepo. Except you are Barika, except you are Bishop Oyedepo. That event is only you and them that will be there. They won't come. The people kind of people we are looking for won't come. That is why you see Lekki, Keja, all those kind of places. It's intentional. Showcase your success. I understand the part of security, like where I live in Port Harcourt, security issues. They can kidnap you. But then there's the way we also showcase our. And I think a lot of individuals may have issues with showcase. They'll call you a bragging. Down to the food that you even post on social media. People are complaining. And so which one will you? You are now allowing them to package your life and what you should showcase. That is living your destiny in the hands of someone else. It's the truth. Even the airplane we're entering now, say, so Nigeria, with all this air flight, all this airplane, people still have money. EFCC should go and visit you. Yes. crazy, man. There was a day I posted food. How much was the food served? Okay, I posted good food though. Somebody asked me how much. I just gently wrote 50,000. Hey, this pretty money. That's what. Then one day, just to be modest, I now bought garlic egg and granola, and I posted that the garlic egg I bought in Port was 10 pieces for 500 naira. So I bought 20 pieces for 1,000 naira, and I thought I was doing people some good. And I snapped it and posted it. Guess what one guy came and wrote in the comments and said, "You are now broke." Instead of you telling us that instead of you telling you are broke, you are forming modesty. What do you go do? How would they do now? Nothing what you do there. So just be your do. I said, imagine. Can you imagine? This is crazy, man. That the age again that I was talking about how cheap it was and how nutritious it was. Broke. So it's what it is. So do you showcase your success to attract certain individuals? Let me tell you that really true. There are certain individuals that I've attracted in my life, not because I faked it, but because of showcasing my incremental levels of success.
That's true.
That's true. They will see, oh, he's at this level now. This is the time to invest in him. They now bring their money. They now bring the support. That's it. But if I'm not showing that incremental level of success, then you feel like there's nothing that is happening in your life. That's what it is. So now I had to hire 2 videographers. Even I didn't come with them because I didn't want to overburden him with my details. But for the other places I'm going to, they are coming with me. Yeah. 2 videographers with smartphones, and I bought them iPhones. I'm using 13, but they have 14. I had great. So the pictures will be cute. So as we're entering as they're bringing, because part of the requirements now is that you have to send a Jeep, a black Jeep, Lexus or whichever, Land Cruiser to carry. So as we're entering, they take all the shots, split clips here and there. Go to the event, they're taking how I'm connecting individuals, I'm hugging, I'm smiling, how I'm speaking, how then when they open the hotel room, they snap all those, they take all those pictures because all those things matter. So it's a deliberate thing. For those who follow me on social media, most have been seeing them small. That's the thing. So as we showcase that, people are like, wow, amazing. There are certain individuals at certain levels now that will get you on board. That's where I'm going to end my conversation today. Thank you very much for listening to me. I don't know how they are pissed about it. Always a blessing to you. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for Emeka Nobis. I call him like that. Over to that. Thank you very much. Please let us sit down. Let's sit down.
And from books, it's important. The next point I want to share with you is single tasking. Single tasking. How many of us have laptops here? I'm just sharing with you my life. How many tabs are open on your laptop? How many tabs actually? You know that thing decreases your mind, decreases the manpower that you have. You know, you may be feeling is multitasking, but that thing decreases. Try something different. Try and save those tabs. You know, there's a way you can save them. You know, either you save them on, at that beginning point, or there is a way it can become a list. So that anyone you want, click it, it opens back again. Try also to declutter your table. Like in my office, my table is bare. What you find on my table will be a laptop, and you please be cleaning your laptop because there are individuals who open their laptop, food that they ate, beans, rice, everything are inside the key parts. Does it not give your mind wahala? I mean, you open it, now you're looking at your own now, check your own. Does it not give you that even the screen itself is dusty? There's something it does in human mind. So be single in tasking. Single tasking. So your tabs, look at them. My table, it's called focus concentration. So when you come to my office, you only see my my laptop, my pen, and my notepad. That's what you always see in front of my table. It's all those grabbing and putting. That's the way it affects your productivity in the daytime. And when you're working, I learned that from my boss, who was an Italian. He said every time they don't speak Nobis. Every time people put everything, it's no scatter your brain. Every time, everybody. So in his office, this guy is finicky. He has what he cleans his laptop constantly, just his laptop, his notepad, his pen. Notepad for ideas and for thoughts and for this daily doing, everything. You find out that your mind comes, there's a focused attention on it. Not that your brain is here. It decreases somehow in productivity. I don't know how people live with that, but this is what I've been living by. And it works if you can try it out. Single tasking. For people like me, I'm an author, so I read books constantly, and we are working on a book, but an idea for another book pops up. He wants to start working on that one. No, there's a way. So when the ideas are coming, I have a big book of ideas. Or my smartphone is linked, this is an iPhone, is linked on the cloud. You put them in folders. So when an idea comes from the other book, boom, I just put them there. They there. Don't worry me, just be there. Because if I start working on that one, the deadline for the current one that I'm working on will be affected. It's single task. For those of us who are writers, I know maybe it happens to you. Alright, so a lot of ideas pop up in my head. And I want to be single task. Then for those of us who are in business, there's something about Nigeria. Those of us who run business want to be in charge of everything, the finance, the operations, the supply, everything. Those of us who are running business here, ask them now, they're in charge of the payments every time. Accountants cannot be used to be trusted to make payments. But if you put systems, I run a limited company, I have about 30 staff. Imagine now that I want doing everything. That's breaking down my body system. You've got to be able to put it in place and put leadership systems in place that allows me to focus on tasks. So as we're increasing levels of leadership, there are things that I cannot be found doing anymore. Things that can be, I have to put individuals and support them with leadership systems to be able to also put business forward so that I can focus on the tasks that are relevant for me. That's success. Because by the time you carry this and carry that, get back home, your body is weak and all that. Next day, the same thing, week is gone, a year is gone. Next point is living segmentally. Living segment. So I was thinking about those of us who are top leaders. I mean, what I mean by top leaders, you're great at what you do and you want to share this with humanity. I look at them and see what they do on social media. So in order to be able to grab as many people as possible, we are doing things random. So it's randomized approach. Today we're doing this, today we're doing that, tomorrow we're posting something else, creating this kind of content and all that, all over the place, randomized. So I said to myself, I am going to be showing them from January, because I feel like January will be a start to how to lead in segments. And this is even how some of them can author books. So I look at my life in thought leadership and say, what is it that I'm doing in thought leadership? And what are the components of the things that we do in thought leadership, right? Components will be giving clarity, what is it they're going to focus on. It's about tribal leadership, how you're going to lead people who follow you. It's about personal leadership, how do you develop yourself to be a personal leader that other people have to look up to? How do you write books? How do you host events? I mean, these are the entirety. There are so many of them. Now, break them down into 12 different components for the year. That's the task. There may be more than that, but you can continue the next year, 2026. But in 2025, just choose 12 of them. And then, out of the 12, every month you are focused on just one aspect or some component of the entire process. So it means that when you now come on social media or Facebook or whichever one, there's a direct approach to it. So you're not around all over the place. And this is how I write books. So imagine that in a month, I'm now talking about clarity alone. I can clarify what it is you do. Next month, I'm talking about personal leadership. The other one, I'm talking about community leadership. By the time I'm done the 12 months of the year, trust me, everything that I've written can be compiled into a complete book. So you can live in segments, not randomized approach to the way that you live. You can be in segments. So that's what I thought about, and that's what I'm teaching them now to follow, so that we can work on it together. By the end of the year, you find out that you produce a whole lot. It can be a book, it can be sessions. So imagine now I get invited, and I have 12 different topics that I can speak on. I can speak on community leadership, I can speak on personal leadership, invite me. So I don't have a scarcity of what it is that I'm going to be sharing. And That's how people can keep inviting me, and I keep staying relevant. The same thing in the life, the same thing you can do in the business to have the segments. Next point is separation. Separation. You know, the Bible says, I hope that you don't find it offensive if I quote from the Bible, right? Sorry if you're Muslim, but one of the things I've seen in the Bible is Proverbs 18:1, and I love it. It said, a man having separated himself, right? Seeketh what? Through desire. See? Through desire, which can be the success you admire. A man having separated himself seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. I love that. So from time to time, I take myself away from human beings so that I can be by myself alone. You see this thing, people get married and say, it's not my thing. No. They say they get married every day when they come body, they do and co. I'm wearing and co. My wife knows that it's not my thing. Even right now, the one she's dealing with now is that I want to build my house, have your room, I have my room. When you want to come into my own, and either I come into your own, there's no separation, you can always come in. Because as a creative person, there's a time that I just want to be alone. There's a time I don't want to turn on the bed and touch human being's body. I just want to be, because even touching that body can spoil my thinking process. Yeah, I've said this in certain places, and people who are married sometimes, pastors, they don't like that preaching. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I just don't want to be with you. I want to be by myself. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It means that I just have to be myself to seek an intellect of what? Wisdom. So from time to time I go into the bush. That is my life. I sit in the bush and I'm watching animals, the way they are doing cricket, all those kind of things, and I'm in time. You'll be saying I'm crazy, but that's what my life is about. So from time to time, there's a word that my friend taught me now. He said, from time to time, find money, take out money from all that thing you're earning, and go and find a very beautiful, maybe 6-star hotel, go and stay there. Wake up in the morning, come down from, he says he likes to stay at the topmost floor, so that he can enter the lift, come down in the morning, and all he's doing is observing human beings who are also wealthy, living and being there and having interaction. That there's something it does to your mind. Separate yourself. Every time you want to be with other human beings, separate yourself from time. You see how it will, you will see the difference. I do it a lot. It may not be so expensive. It could be, if your friend has a beautiful house, ask for a room. Get away from your family, from your husband, from your in-law dad. That man will die. The wife will not run away. Your children are not. From time to time, I do it for my wife. But you know women, I take the kids, so you will be in the house shouting plenty times. And I'm like, okay, honey, enough of this shouting. I'll carry the kids, and then we'll go to a shortest apartment together. She'll be there, and still be calling. Have you? What are you calling? I am taking care of everything. What are you supervising? Day your day. I'm like, you're the one who's shouting so many minutes. So we are now away so that you reduce the shouting, and with the kids. Day your day. Why is it every minute you're now calling? Hey, how are they? They're fine. They are with me. Do you get the thing? So separate from time to time. I have to deliberately teach her how to separate. Put her in the hotel, stay there, don't call anybody. Yes. Stay there. Leave us at home. If the kids will eat there, they won't die. You will find out that there's a level of wisdom that will begin to dwell upon you when you stay alone and allow your mind to think critically. Foreigners or even with the dwell, that's why the way their life is. They leave it and go into the bush. That's one of the things, I mean, right now, looking at resorts, if you see the kind of resort these people build, some build it in the mountain. For you to go there, you have to climb high mountain and go and stay there. Hotel alone, there people are just there. See Tony Lumere. Do you follow him on Facebook? And he went to Italy the last time. Did you see the place he went to? Did he go with his wife? No, alone. That hotel was even there. But they were living in different, just intermingling. Just be by themselves, just allowing themselves to soak into the divinity of life. So it's important. Separate. It works. Step away from the usual, right? That is why you see boxers, they go to camp. They want to fight, but they have to go to camp. They separate themselves from a lot of distractions. That's why footballers have to go to camp, because they have to stay without distraction, away from their wives and girlfriends, and stay within there. The coach will tell them what to eat, when to rise up, because they need to have the goal met. That is why separation is important, to be focused to get the success to happen. The next point, I have 3 points and I'm done. Batch productivity. To batch your productivity. The truth is that many of us who are in business, we have lots of distractions. The calls become one of them. The first one I learned from the work podcast was how to improve productivity. The second one was how to become loved in less than 10 seconds. You get, sorry. I didn't put my phone aside. So I had to learn. So this podcast and things help us to, we learn a whole lot of things from them and we put them in our own lives. It's critically important. So your mentors, books, I don't joke with books. I mean, Aldo sent me a book this morning, and I don't joke with books because I'm constantly reading to get better every blessed day. So let me put this aside. I forgot to put it. Good morning. My name is Emeka, Nobis, and I came from the city of Port Harcourt. I hope that in the few minutes I have with you to share points on learning success. So I remember as we were boarding the flight yesterday, I began to look at my life and where I am right now in my life, and I remember how I desire, because I like the achieve the success that you desire in your life. Actually. So I read mechanical engineering, worked in an oil servicing company for 10 years, and I didn't wait to get to his age to be able to. I fired myself from the company actually. So I resigned, and this is basically what I do now as my living. So I own another company, real estate, but I'm not going to talk about real estate. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing as a speaker, as a writer, as an author, and as a thought leader, trying to influence people's minds and get them to think progressively. That's what I do on a daily basis. So as we were boarding the flight, I began to have some reflections about where I've been, over the years. I remember telling myself that I was going to be a great speaker. People were going to carry me in jeeps to events. People were going to put me in 5-star hotel and all that. But I didn't even start at that. I remember at the point where we started out, there were some guys who invited me, and I slept in their rooms. So invited to speak. I remember one particular one, 3 of us laid down. Speakers, 2 of us were speakers. The one was inviting us, and we laid down there. And then I remember being in a hotel where at midnight they shut down the power. I said they were economizing power. Been in rooms where rats were all running around and all that. But now when I look at my life, I see back there, people invite you to speak. They can't book you on flights. You have to go by road overnight, arrive there, speak in the morning, and then the next day you're traveling back again by road. But now it's been a journey, and now I look at my PA in the office, and people invite me to come to speak, and I give them my role. I give them the list of what they have to do for me to be there to speak. Now, she spoke about as you begin to grow your life, some individuals begin to think that you've arrived. But the thing is, that's the journey of success. That's true. Now, many of them tell me I'm now bragging and all that, but I can't be at the same level that they expected me to be. Of course, if I'm not increasing the level, then now it's about flights. At the point, it's getting to where people will invite me, and it's a private jet. Does it make sense? It's at an incremental level, because I admire to be there, and that's it. I admire also to be on the path where I get invited. Like, I look at my calendar now, between now and December, I'm booked back to back every Saturday. I mean, even I have to beg me, don't put something on, don't put 12, because I was supposed to be to speak at an event in Lagos by Sterling Bank, but eventually I felt maybe his prayers worked and the thing didn't work, so I'm here today. Next week I'm in Enugu, after that I'm in Onisha, I come back to Port Harcourt again, the week I'm back in Enugu, the other one I'm in Lagos. 2010 I had the first accident. If you notice, I limp on my left leg. 2 weeks before my wedding, we're traveling with my wife at the time, then fiancé, and we had the accident. Then in 2019 again, another accident happened. That was on my way to speak at an event in Lagos on top of the 10 mainland bridge. The driver that was carrying me slept off with the steering wheel and then rammed the car. Fortunately, that car didn't somersault and enter into the water because that would have been the end of the Emeka Nobis. I don't know how to swim, the car was jammed and all that. But that, beyond the first accident actually was painful because the wedding was suspended for 1 year and then we did our wedding 1 year after because both of us were in the hospital. We had to get back on our feet again. She had injuries, I had injuries. The one that I remember was very painful was 2019, the one in Lagos, where, as you said, things that happened in the nation. We were stuck inside of the car, right? We were stuck in the car, the doors were jammed, we couldn't get out, and we were fighting to get the door open. And so Nigerians were taking videos. That one was not even my problem, because they wanted to break the news, you know. The one that pained me was someone who came to the door where we were struggling inside of the door and was like this. Like his face had to be in the video to prove the fact that he was right there watching the individuals struggling with the car and smoke was coming out already under the bonnet of the car to prove that he was there seeing us struggling. You know, it's the painful thing that happens at the time, you know. So we all, you know, on both occasions, we were in the hospital for weeks, surgery was done, and then I began to learn how to walk again. See, if I say now stand up now, it's so easy. Just jump up from your chair, stand up, walk, start walking. My dear, I began to jealous individuals who could do that because I now had to learn how to walk again. I did know the most painful part was it was a female nurse that was now assigned to teach me how to walk again. Like I had cast on my leg, they brought the stick and all that. The girl had to carry me. Then I wasn't going this way actually. She had to carry me on her back into the toilet. You know, the ego of a man into the toilet for me to go and poo, then wake it outside of the door. Why did that assign a man was what I just couldn't understand before. But then I learned how to walk again. It was in that moment that I began to think about many of the things that we do in our lives. I learned. Yes. You learn how to steal. You learn how to make love to your wife. You learn how to speak in public. This thing that I'm doing now, we learned it. It wasn't by the position of anointing oil on a Sunday. No. They will pour the anointing oil, you won't walk. We had to learn how to speak in public. We had to learn how to look at individuals who are doing great public speaking, to learn how to speak in public and look at you eyeball to eyeball as I'm looking now without fearing your face. Does it make sense? We learned how to lie. We learned how to work. Look at the babies, they crawl, they're crawling. I remember when my two kids were they had different patterns. You know, the one that was crawling and then starting to struggle to run immediately. They learned. So everything that we're doing live today, people learn how to fly a plane. People learn how to write a book. I'm an author of 11 books. So we learned how to write books that people would buy. So most of the things that you see in your life today and what you're doing, you learned how to do them, isn't it? Yes, sir. You learned how to work. Learned how to do work in the organizations, learned how to be a great leader. So the same thing about success. Success can also be learned. True folks. You've got to learn how to be successful. Because if you don't learn how to be successful and live a successful life, then you won't be successful. That is actually true. That's the actual truth. Alright, so I'm glad that I'm here today. I mean, as I said, looking at my reaching you for the next 2 months. I'm grateful for the part because I learned really how to do it well, and I'm doing it well, and that's why I'm going to invite me to speak at events. So I'm going to be sharing with you a few points, you know, about learning success. Number one is commitment to purposeful existence. Number one, commitment to purposeful existence. And when people talk about purpose, they are always thinking about spiritualizing things. You know, when you get to church, they say, pray, his life. His life's purpose was to be a pastor, isn't it? So now that it's not going to be the head and everything, what's going to be in his life? I was having this conversation with my wife. There are certain other things he'll be doing. Does it mean he's working out the purpose? No, there's other things in the doing. That making sense? I've seen someone who was supposed to become a reverend father. He left the priesthood and then he began to do something else. Does it mean he was out of purpose? No. I mean, he's doing something. There are those who have left and now in the seminary. Some of them jump out of the seminaries, become medical doctors, and after a while, they're doing something else. It's just what it is. Life is movement. In the hospital when I was sitting down, there. And then one of those days, I took the crutches and I moved out. So I was returning back to the ward. I saw above the ward, what they had put there, in the orthopedic ward, life is movement. It's just what it is. And they see they do it. So that's how God wants to be, to do. So you've got to find something and commit yourself to it. Find something, commit yourself to it. After all, of course, I read mechanical engineering. Today people are looking at me. And then when he was calling me engineer, I was just laughing because I don't identify myself with that anymore. But does it mean I'm out of purpose? No, I'm living in purpose. Maybe tomorrow I can do, I never knew I was going to get into real estate, but today I'm in real estate. Does it mean I'm out of purpose? No, I'm finding something and I'm committing myself to doing it. That is a blessing to other people's lives. True or false? Making sense? Yep. So one point I want to share with you is rituals. You've got to be a ritualist. You have to be a ritualist. You know what I mean? You have to be a ritualist. It's not ritualist. Let your mind not go to the village. You got to be a ritualist. I mean, suppose mine are straight to the village now. You know, things are ritualists. But understand that life is lived by rituals. Our lives are lived by rituals. When you wake up in the morning, what do? You breathe, isn't it? Yes, even when you're sleeping, you breathe, isn't it? Like for me, I have they are the tiny, consistent things that you do almost on a daily basis. Like you breathe. These are the things that keep the grind on. Imagine that you're not breathing for a few minutes now. Of course, you have to bring in an ambulance now to save your life. You breathe, isn't it? You eat every day. They're the tiny, little, consistent things that you do that keep the grind on. For me, I wake up every morning and I have a ritual. That ritual is I walk into the toilet and I sit down there and I greet first for people to consume before I start consuming other individuals. Because the individuals who walk into the toilet, sorry, it's a bad habit actually, because they tell me that I may suffer from so I have to reduce my time in there. But there's something about me sitting in a clean toilet and I'm allowing my head to wander. That's why I ask people to put me in 5-star hotels so that it looks like the toilet I also have at home, because I like to stay in there, the white space. Forgive me, this is my own life. You have to know your own life. I mean, you can like dark walls. Me, I like white walls. So within the white walls, my head is spinning with ideas. And I create first and foremost for people to consume, not for me to consume first. There are those who walk into their toilet and they're on social media for 1 hour. Ask yourself, what have you've been consuming endless information that may not have even made sense to you. So what it is that I do is to create first. That's one of my rituals. So I say life is based on rituals. You sleep, you breathe, you eat. They are tiny, but you can't exist without breath. Ask yourself, you can't exist without breathing. It's tiny. I mean, you see, it's when you lie on the hospital bed and they have to ask you to put oxygen and you're struggling to breathe. I don't know how many of you have flown in an aircraft that went too high and then you started finding it difficult to breathe. I don't know if you've experienced that thing. Yeah. You're like, that is when you understand that it's breathing, you are breathing. You will thank God every day that you are doing it effortlessly. Yeah, at that point, COVID. Oh, no, that plane moon is very terrifying. Like you are in the air. You know that whenever plane you're in the air, it's only you and God. Though. Just like yesterday that I was coming. The plane banked too much to this side. The boy that was up my he had a rasta on his head. The next day he grabbed my left hand because he thought he was falling out of the plane. He made me laugh. So you know what I say, boy, let me got down. I don't know who was speaking to over the phone, like his friend. Say, he get waste why I will break this night. I'm like, you wait the fear to looking for woman where you go break waste. The fear for all like it's that kind of thing. And then you are there, and at the same time you have gotten to an altitude that you don't know what happened, and I'm struggling to breathe. It's a dangerous place to be. You get what I mean? So life is based, rituals. So observing those tiny details of our lives and detailing them every day. So every day I'm detailing things. I'm looking at things in my life, my experiences, my relationship, my dealings with other individuals. I am detailing them. Guess what? People say public speaking, they don't know what to talk about. I tell them it's about detailing the little things of your life. Do you know that as simple as reading a book? That is why I find it difficult now to read books without highlighters. I find it difficult reading books without sitting beside my laptop Because the moment I open a book and I start reading it, my brain starts to, like, 1,000 ideas start popping up. So what do? I register those ideas because I use them to create PowerPoints to speak at different events that I go to speak at. Does it make sense? When I get there, well, this guy in 2 months, I thought I'm somewhere to do. Added Java here and there, package the PowerPoint, and now it's delivering so excellently and beautifully. It's about the tiny details. When I create content on social media, people wonder how you able to create 10% content, because every day that I'm moving around, I am detailing the little things that are happening in my life, from airplane to coming down, to see how people are behaving in the aircraft and all that, getting to the airport, seeing how deep in Abuja, like tiny little details. So you've got to be a ritualist. What it means is that develop the rituals that better your life. You see, when you wake up, stop scrolling on Facebook. There's a man I follow online, his name is Guru. Sorry, I'm a Christian, but I follow some certain crazy individuals. If your faith hasn't gotten to that level, don't follow them. Some of them are Hindus, some of them are Buddhists, but I follow them for the kind of things that they share about humanity. And he says, this phone now, all of us have become addicts to this thing. So he says, wake up in the morning for him, keep the phone aside, cross your leg, and just be smiling. For him, he says he looks at the wall and starts smiling. Why are you smiling? Just to be smiling. That is when he smiles for a few minutes, fills his body with gratitude for the day before he steps in. That's his ritual to stay active and fulfill all for the day, no matter what is going on. So develop your own rituals for yourself. I have mine for myself. As I said, wake up in the morning, go to the toilet, sit down there, and I'm thinking about the things of my life, creating for individuals to consume first before I start consuming. Third point I want to share with you, I think it's the third point, yeah? There are taboos for you to be able to get the success that you desire. There are taboos that you have to keep. My friend called me last night. I said, Emeka, are you enjoying Lagos? Abuja. I said, enjoying where? I said, where are you? I said, I'm in my room. Why are you in your room? No, I want to be here. She said, why am I not outside? I said, if I go outside, there's billion outside. And, we're just joking about it. But the thing is that as I'm climbing the levels of thought living, there are things that are now taboos to me that I can. These are the things that you can't do because of the journey that you're on. For me now, one of the taboos of my life is how I chat with women as a thought leader at my level. Because there's a way you chat, your chats are being screenshot and kept for you. That making sense? It is when you have to now break a certain ceiling, your chats may surface online. There are some individuals who I will not chat with except I open a private chat for them that disappears after a while, based on my intuition. That making sense? Yeah. It's a life of beauty of when you get more successful, but there are taboos that they have to adopt and keep as you keep rising levels of success. That making sense? Now, you see these ladies who are below 18. I try as much as possible to stay there. Then if I have to have something close with you, there's something you have to lose that I have to deal with. If I'm going to be very close to you, I'll look at your life, if you are married, you look at your marriage. I'll look at your business. If this comes out in the public, is your business going to go down? That is when I can even have something very close with you, because there's something that you lose. I'm not saying in terms of sexualism, in terms of even with me sharing my burdens. If you bring them out in the public, there's something you yourself will lose. But you see, young people, young girls who don't even understand life yet, getting close to them is dangerous for people like me now. There are taboos that I have to keep. I have mine, I understand mine. There are certain places I can't go to anymore. There are certain relationships that I can't have anymore. Does my body desire them? Yes, but I have to take my body to say, no, this is a taboo, because if I'm going to get to this level of success, there are taboos that I have to keep. The same thing happens in our villages. You ask, why are those taboos in the village? Because those taboos exist to keep the village in a certain, like in my village, one of the things is, they have this thing, I don't know whether it works or not. So during December period, we all come together, they buy bread, they buy akara, and say everybody must eat the akara together in a meeting. So it means that if you're not eating it, there's something that you are planning for your friend or for your whoever in the village. I don't know if that works, but I just love how the elders come together, the relationship, all of them cracking all those proverbs and all that. But for them, I think that is one of the things that keeps them together. You gotta have taboos. There are certain relationships you have to break from as you are ascending the levels of success. A certain place you can be found in the moon as you keep increasing levels of success. That's the truth. If you can't keep those taboos, I feel that anything goes, you're not ready yet. Next point is mentors and coaches and trainers and masterminds. I don't really have a mentor. Some people feel like I'm proud to say that, but I really don't have a mentor. I have masterminds, I have idols that I follow. It's just my own decision. Should you have a mentor, that's fine. I don't have issues with mentors, but I prefer my masterminds, I prefer my coaches, I prefer my idols, the people and my trainers. Those are people. So I'm a combination of the different things that these people have brought in my life. Let me give you a particular key example. So yesterday, I got to the airport in Port Harcourt, and as I was about to bring up my bag from the back seat, I had a tap on my back, and I turned, it was a young lady. I just said, "Can I get a hug?" Okay. So I said, "Give me a minute, let me get my bag out." So I got my bag out, and I gave her the hug. And I know in my mind, for somebody to have asked that, she follows me on social media. So I gave her the hug, we went through the customs, and then she told me how she follows me on Facebook, she reads my stuff, she's got my books, and all that and all. Even when we were walking to the place, she had her own video of me walking because she was my back. Eventually sent me the video after that. But I could see the joy in her that this person that she follows, now she has seen her in person, and guess what? As we were waiting for our flight to come, I saw somebody sent me a clip from Ibuku Awoshika. You know Awoshika? Guess what she said in the video? She said that there was a time they were to do wedding, and she's a church woman, and everybody was around, all the girls were painting their faces and all that, and it was getting the time for them to go to church. So Ibuku came out, I was like, everybody, let's go to church and all that. And then the lady that was making all the ladies up said to Ibuku Awoshika, "I was waiting for you to make me up." And Ibuku said, "I don't do makeup. Once I apply powder on my face and all that, I'm good. I don't do makeup." She said that to the girl. Guess what? She went to speak at an event 10 years later. And when she was done speaking at the event, she was told